Hello everyone, my name is Christine Toledo-Maranan from Teach 21 and Facilitating Learning. And today I'm going to discuss about guiding principles in selection and organization of content. So before we proceed to our lesson for today, how was your weekend guys? Okay, same here. And how about our previous lessons? Do you have any questions or any clarifications? Okay, good. So, may I ask who among you wants to share a memorable experience to a favorite teacher before? Yes? Okay. Hmm. That was so touching. I hope I can meet her someday. Yes. Way back when I was in college, I used to have my favorite teacher. We only met her once a week, and she's really nice and thoughtful. And also, she's a God-fearing person. But there was a time that we discovered something that on some point of our lesson, what she's telling wasn't the truth. There was no proof or evidence that the lesson was proven correct. So after that incident, she got a failed score in her evaluation. And unfortunately, um, we haven't seen her for a while. But that doesn't make her a bad teacher at all. So, moving on. What do you think is the possible trait of the best teacher? Any idea? Okay, what are the qualities should a teacher have? Yes, I can see hands. Oh, correct. You're right. So, let's move on. And basically, these guiding principles is principles of teaching module 3. So, first let's have our pre-test. So kindly get a pen and a piece of paper and let's start. So are you ready? So, okay, the first question is, this quality signifies to teach with facts and values. Cognitive, psychomotor, and affective. Letter A, utility. B, balance. C, interest. D, validity. Okay, number 2. According to Bloom's taxonomy, this skill is action that are involving more demonstrative verb like intellectual, thinking, reasoning, and remembering. A, cognitive. B, psychomotor. C, affective. D, manipulative. Number 3, self-sufficiency is a learning that shouldn't count as how deep it is, but the quality of understanding about the content, or in other words, less is more. A, true. B, false. C, maybe. D, not at all. Number 4, subject matter content is an integration includes of these three elements: validity, feasibility, utility. B, facts, concept, principles. C, cognitive, skills, affective. And D, hypothesis, theories, laws. And lastly, number 5, this thinking skill is a narrowing down from many possible thoughts to end up on a single best thought or an answer to a problem. A, convergent. B, divergent. C, problem solving. D, metaphoric. Okay, so are you all done? So moving on, let's proceed to our topic, guiding principles in selection and organization of content. So here it is. Take note on these guidelines. Content must be aligned with the goals of education and the institution's vision and mission. It must include varied and relevant learning experiences. Content must afford a body of knowledge that will help address the societal needs. Number 4, subject matter must be live and breathe values. Number 5 is it should not promote higher expectation for students' performances and a more demanding curriculum. And lastly, it should not be selective and imbalanced. So this means that in making any move, especially in making a content in educating the learners, this must be connected to the institution's vision and mission. We would not want to bypass any rules on this matter. You cannot teach what you just wanted to teach. It should be relevant in the subject matter. It must have a sense of learning and will definitely help to address the societal needs. Remember that you're also sharing the knowledge that will be also help by the society in the future or vice versa. Also, the content should not be overpowered. Always consider your students' capacity and capabilities. Educate them the way it is more comfortable and easier for them to understand the context. Lastly, teach in appropriately manner, be fair and be precise. So let's move on to some qualities. Um, Number one is validity. So let me read this. Teachers must teach according to the national standards explicit in the basic curriculum. Subject matter we choose to teach should be taught by the professionals. So there was a saying that if you know how to talk, you can teach. But in this case, the so-called teachers must teach what is valid. And as an educator, it is their obligation, or should I say, duty, to teach the student only the fact and not the hearsay only. The subject that should be taught must be according to the national standards explicit in the basic curriculum and taught by the professionals. So number two is the significance. Subject matter content should respond to the needs and interests of the learners. The content must be meaningful and show significance that every student can relate and participate. So of course, what we are teaching and sharing to the class must be related to their needs and interests. We doesn't like seeing class with a dull face and a big question mark while we are discussing, right? At least 80% of the class participate, but it's nice if 100% of them can relate to whatever the teacher is saying. So number three is the balance. Teachers must teach with fact and values at the same time. This includes cognitive, psychomotor, and affective. So just like in our own daily lives, we must all have balance to perform well our daily tasks. Remember, adding up knowledge in students' mind while feeding up great values in their lives that they'll be needing in the future is a good way of teaching. So number four is self-sufficiency. Essentials are sufficiently covered and treated in depth in learning. This shouldn't count as how deep it is, but the quality of understanding the content is way much important. So here, less is more. So it is how we understand the context of lesson very well. And it doesn't have to be full load textbook knowledge. And what is more important is the quality of understanding we had in lesson. Remember here that less is more. So number five is the interest. Teachers should be considering the interest of the learners. Learners should be able to find enjoyment in learning if they can relate or easily understand a certain topic. As a teacher, always find ways to have interactive and lively discussion. So I do believe that in studying, it's way more fun if we are all having a great time. Studying a new lesson must be a fun and interactive. Teachers should always have tons of ideas to get the attentions of the students who have a participation in class. So number six is the utility. This explains that in learning process, this isn't always about memorization. What really matters is the level of understanding the learner achieved even after the school days are over. So in this matter, having things memorized isn't always a good way of learning. What is important is how we truly understand the lesson and how we apply it even if we are not in school anymore. It is, I think, the retention of the ideas. And lastly is the feasibility. The content is feasible in the sense that the essential content can be covered in the amount of time available for instruction, possibility to easily or conveniently. So time truly mattered, right? Teach what is essential in such a possible manner of time. Teach in convenient time, and it can also be a good way to practice the priority management when it comes to teaching. So moving on to our next topic is which is about the subject matter using cognitive domain. So this is cited by Omra 200. Number one, provide opportunities for experimentation and explore each topic in depth. Number two, present ideas of others. New ideas can relate to an experience. Number three, emphasizing conceptual understanding, understand more the content. So sometimes in teaching, it is productive, or should I say, lesson can be easily understood if if the teacher provides some experiments and have the students to experience things with their bare hands. In that way, things can be memorable, or the lesson can be more um, memorable and fun. Also, sharing ideas to others is also a good way of studying. Remember that no man is an island, and giving thoughts, opinions, and collaborating to a classmate can add up learnings to everyone. It can promote communication and listening skills. Also, practice to understand well the certain topic. Focus on the things you wanted to learn. Give time to educate yourself to a certain lesson. This will surely mold you to become a good professional. So, next topic is subject matter. Content is an integrated integration of cognitive skill and effective comments. So, let's proceed to Bloom's taxonomy. Number one, cognitive or knowledge. Two, psychomotor skills. Three, affective or attitudes, emotions, values. So, next slide is cognitive. We all know that this refers to the mental action or process of acquiring knowledge and comprehension. Under this cognitive, we have facts, concepts, principles, hypotheses, theories, and laws. Facts can be verified, known, and proven true. Three, concepts: events, place, people, ideas. Three, principles, a fundamental truth that serves as the foundation for belief or behavior or for a chain of reasoning. Next is hypothesis. This is an educated guess. And theories, set of facts, concepts, principles that describe possible underlying and observable mechanisms that regulate human learning, development, and behavior. And lastly, laws, firmly established thoroughly. So next is the psychomotor skills. As we all know, this learning is demonstrated by the physical skills such as movements, coordination, and manipulation. And under this, we have manipulative and thinking. So manipulative is, of course, dominantly skill oriented like computer, home economics, and technology, physical education, and music. And the other one is thinking. Thinking is beyond recall and comprehension, concerned with application of what was learned, problem solving, or can be a real life. So under these thinking skills, we have um, divergent, convergent, algorithm, metaphoric, problem solving, and heuristic. So divergent is a thought of process or method used to generate creative ideas about topic in a short period of time. It includes fluent, flexible, original, and elaborative thinking. So convergent, it is narrowing down for many possible thoughts and end up on a single best thought or an answer to a problem. Our algorithm, this is much more like in mathematical situation. As a sequence of instruction wherein main goal is to solve a specific problem, perform a certain action or computation. Metaphoric, a substitutional mental process in which implicit comparison are made between qualities of objects which are usually considered in separate classification. This is more on comparison. And problem solving is a skills help determine the source of a problem and find effective solution. Al- Although problem solving is often identified as its own separate skill. There are other related skills that contribute to this ability. And lastly, heuristic, a mental shortcut that allows people to solve problems and make judgment quickly and efficiently. So, last is the effective. So effective in psychology. This refers to the underlying experience of feeling, emotion, or mood. So we have values and attitudes. Values is a principle which help to decide what is right or wrong, and attitude, individual's perspective and disposition. So, do you have any question? So, okay, so let's proceed to our learning activity. Okay, so here it is. Choose a random topic or a specific lesson and discussion. How can this topic relate to three domains based on Bloom's taxonomy? Use Bloom's taxonomy: cognitive, affective, and psychomotor. And I'm going to give you at least 5 minutes to answer that. And next is we're going to have our post test. Identify the following if it is under cognitive, psychomotor, or affective. So here it is. Okay. So number one is manipulative. What is this skill? Is it cognitive, psychomotor, or affective? Yes. And then number two, hypothesis. Number three, concepts. Okay, number four, values. Number five, divergent. Six, laws. Seven, attitude. Eight, theories. Nine, principles. And number 10, laws. Okay, you're going to choose between cognitive, psychomotor, or affective. So, are you all done? So, that's it. This is the end of our discussion, and I hope you learned something, and thank you all for listening, and bye for now.